What's up, y'all? Here to talk about the fight from last night. Manny Pacquiao against Shane Mosley. It was a very disappointing fight. Uh, Only reason why I watched this fight because I knew who was gonna win. Everybody knew who was gonna win because we've known who was gonna win in the last 3 or 4 Pacquiao fights. But besides the Cotto fight, I really gave Cotto a shot. Uh, at least those fights are exciting. Manny gets touched up a few times in the early and had some anxious moments. Manny's gonna throw those 5, 6, 7 punch combinations. He gonna turn up the heat in the middle rounds. But this fight, man, was it didn't have any of that. I mean, it had moments of what looked like was going to be some good exchanges, but it wasn't there. And I got to blame most of that on Mosley because he was in full retreat for most of that fight. After talking all that shit about how he was going to go toe to toe and this and that, it just didn't happen. It was like the same thing most fighters do when they before they get in there, they say what they're gonna do. They're just as fast and they got power too. But once Manny starts landing on them, it's a totally different story. I thought, just like everybody, that the only chance Shane had of winning this fight was to land, something big in the first 5 or 6 rounds. It just didn't happen. He landed a couple good jabs in the first couple rounds. He landed a few nice hooks, but nothing that hurt Manny, nothing that stunned him. I just felt like after, I think it was the 3rd round, when Manny hit him with a shot that he didn't see, which I knew that was the danger. The danger with trading with Manny is he throws punches from so many awkward angles that you not used to seeing, and he clips you with them shots, and it surprises him. So he clipped him, I think, like on the side of his head right there. I knew Moses was hurt. Some people thought, maybe it was just kind of like a flash knockdown. But I could tell once that punch landed, once he went down, and that shot when he was right before he got up, that look on his face, like he was just confused, like you could tell he was out of it for a minute, and it was just enough time in that round where I thought this fight is done. I was yelling, it's over, because it just seemed like I've never seen him hurt to that extent, with that dazed look in his eyes. But I give him credit. He recovered and survived the whole fight, because it basically, that's what he was. He just basically, from that moment on, he was in survival mode, backpedaling, just running. I never seen Mosley run, and they kept mentioning it. Tarver kept mentioning it. Al Bernstein was mentioning it. They he just backpedaled. He never took a stand, and he did not want to engage Manny after that, and that ruined the fight. But one thing that bothered me about that fight that Mosley been doing for the last 2 or 3 fights, and I was yelling every single time he did it, which was more than 20 times, that glove tap at the beginning of the round and after the round. It's almost, to me, it felt too much like a sparring session. Mosley, I wanted him to get knocked out. I was screaming. I predicted a 9th round knockout, but I was screaming, just put him out of his misery, because I don't, man. And my brother was like, you want violence, you want blood. And I was like, man, if you pay to watch a pay-per-view fight, I mean, this is this is a prize fight. This not sparring in the gym. Stop that glove touching. That pisses me off. And to me, it's an acknowledgement of, take it easy on me, or you got me. You got me. I can't deal with this, and kind of like let's just let's fight, but take it easy on me. And I can't stand that. What was surprising is that Manny's work rate was down. I just kept thinking, round 4, round 5, Manny's gonna turn it up. He's gonna turn the heat up, and he never did get to that gear. He said after the fight something about his leg was stiff, or he had some kind of problems. I don't know if it was soreness. I don't know. He just kept mentioning something about problems with his leg. I don't think it would be cramps with it. I don't know. Anyway, but his work rate was down, and he just seemed off. It just, I don't know. I was thinking. Actually, my brother, we was mentioned during the fight. Have the wars caught up with him? Because he don't look like the same explosive, dynamic fighter that we've seen in the last 2 or 3 fights. He was just, where was the work rate? He should have had Mosley out of there by round 7. The way Mosley was fighting, all Mosley was doing is his trademark flicker jab and lean in, which I mentioned in my prediction video. That lean, he leans in when he goes in to clinch, and Manny wasn't making him pay. A few times Manny would try to rip up some shots at him to prevent him from holding, but it was causing so many head clashes. I just think Manny got reluctant to throw, and that, and it could be that Manny slowing down. It was just something off. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's Mosley's craftiness. He somehow negated some of the things Manny does by taking. He did take a step back a few times, but couldn't pull the trigger. And if Mosley would have just stood his ground just a few times to see if he could land something big, he never let his hands go. That was just frustrating, man. So frustrating. Anyway, I don't know. And that knockdown, that was not a knockdown. But when Pacquiao, he got pushed down, and that was a terrible call. But it didn't matter because I think Mosley won all of the rounds on some cards, or maybe lost 1 or 2 rounds. Where he goes from here, I don't know. I think this should be it for Shane. He's gotten beat in the last year. He's gotten beat by the best 2 fighters in the world, and he was not competitive whatsoever. This is it. It should be. He can't pull the trigger. If you can't let your hands go, and all you doing is getting in there just to survive, and you're getting these fights because of your name, stop it, man. You're gonna damage your legacy. Let this be the end, please. And who wants to? Nobody wants to pay money to see you bullshit like that, man. Not letting your hands go and running around and holding and backpedaling. It was just awful, man, awful. I hope Mosley gives it up. Pacquiao, he probably fighting Marquez next, because I'm not optimistic about Floyd fighting. Every interview Floyd does, he talks about his ventures with 50 Cent and this movie company and music and other business things he's into, and he says, I'm not thinking about boxing. I'm trying to spend time with my kids and do this and that. I just don't think he's into boxing no more. I really don't. He's like us. He's just a fan now, in my opinion. He does not want this fight. I really think that he's trying to slow down. Trying to wait till Manny slows down. The drug test thing is just a bunch of BS at this stage. I think Manny has agreed now that he'll. I think Manny would give him his body organs if he could for this fight at this point. I know Manny didn't want to say nothing last night and took the high road when he was asked, "Do you want this fight?" But at this stage, I think Roach and his whole team. I think they want, because that's who else is gonna fight. Berto is not an option. Ortiz is not an option. Only thing he's got is Marquez. He's fought everybody else. He's fought everybody else. Margarito, Cotto, Clyde. I know these are guys you say, well, they were just handpicked, but Margarito, Cotto, Clyde, Mosley, De La Hoya, Hatton. I mean, who else is it? Tim Bradley, Devin Alexander. He's not going to fight Amir Khan. They good friends. This is it. This is it. He's too small to fight Sergio Moore. This is it. So hopefully Mayweather come to his senses and makes this fight, because I think that Team Pacquiao would take that fight in a heartbeat. I just hope he comes to the table and finally, steps up and takes the challenge of his life, because that's what it would be. I give Floyd the advantage, but I just think that, it's a 50-50 fight. He's never had to deal with this kind of speed, and I know Pacquiao's dealt with good counterpunches, but he never dealt with the straight right hand and the hand speed that Floyd's gonna present. So let's just hope it happens. Peace.